Hey guys, welcome back to Reading Mythology 2. I have yet another new person. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, this is Pam Bam Richard, and yeah, I do a lot of random tale stuff. Let's get this going.
Yeah, okay, so this is Kratos, and his introduction is really just, hey, what's up? And then you just kind of stare at him for a second.
Oh, well, I mean, Kratos isn't really the type to sort of be a personable person. He's just like, I do what I want, let me do my things. I don't care for small talk.
Yeah, and here you can either ask more about him, or you can be like, okay then, and then just leave.
So flip the coin just didn't want to learn more about Kratos' story then?
Yeah, the coin determines everything. Like here, from what I could gather, it's sort of the same thing with Annis, where you can either be like, hey, tell me about yourself, or just be like, sure, whatever. And from what I can tell, the coin was like, yeah, sure, whatever, but Annis, not being Kratos, she goes on and on anyway.
Yeah. Well, talks about their own characters individually, so...
Right, yeah. Basically, if you want the context of the new characters joining, Annis is, of course, still part of the military that all of the Abyss people come from. And as for the Symphonia cast, they're apparently part of a different guild, which they never really give any specifics on. But in this guild, Raine is the head of it, which is a little nod to Radiant Mythology 1. And Kratos is the bodyguard, and all the kids are apprentices. So, there you go.
I'm sorry, that spelling of Persea's name.
Yeah. You'll notice that a lot with this this menu patch. Wait till you see what they spelled Suzu as.
Oh, no.
That's gonna be nice.
Oh, no. I don't know if I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, apparently Persea was still experimented on in this universe, although we won't know the full context of it till later.
Oh, they actually go into that in this game?
A little bit,
okay,
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like some means of like just saying, hey, we're gonna be like very subtle about it. Play the actual Symphonia game.
Well, in some cases they do stuff.
Right.
Like, this game, it seems to me like they were like, okay, we, unlike Radiant 1, we have like this huge cast of characters. Let's see if we can incorporate like elements of everything into this game. And in some cases it works, in other cases it's kind of weird.
So this is more just introductions of the entire cast, I guess.
Yeah, like right now, everyone's just introducing themselves. Almost every new character that joins gives a little introduction scene in this game. Notably, one of the few exceptions is Yuri and Estelle. They're just kind of there.
Well, yeah, this was the game that sort of like came out before Vesperia's release, so it was kind of like in the same skin for Graces when Radiant Mythology 3 came out. So it was more so just like they just plugged them in there to sort of advertise the release for Vesperia in 2008.
Yeah. And here's your legacy, right here.
Oh, so I was wondering why. I was like thinking, is it because of Symphonia? And then I saw the thumbnail. I'm like, oh, is it because of the voice?
Yeah. So since we kind of have time, why don't you tell everyone how the Raine voice came to be?
Oh God, is this really the whole reason why you invited me over, just to talk about that?
Well, Zelos hasn't shown up yet, so...
I see. Well, God, why... I don't know, I just thought of a voice, and then, who was it that I voiced with? I'm very terrible with names.
You did it with AJ
right,
and Ryan.
AJ and Ryan, right, so, yeah, they're like, hey, you know, we're gonna do some kind of skit, in that battle. I'm like, okay, I'll come with the voice, and then that was the first thing that came to mind. That whole Kami Kuba thing that I used to do in my Paper Mario Let's Play. And
Right.
what happened? This better not be the whole reason why I'm here.
And Raine became a cannibal, and it was a fun time.
Yeah, so winning on that Abyss part to sort of put in my little 2 cents on that whole Radiant Mythology playthrough as a whole.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely come later. But for right now, if you the context of this mission is that we got word that people are experimenting with mana, and rumor has it that it's being weaponized for war, a la, you know, Fantasia. So they're like, hey, you should go scout it out. And Enos and Raine insist on coming, and then you can bring whoever you want. I chose Kanono just because. And as for this skit, Raine is like, hey, you know that pineal thing that flies around? And you're like, yeah, sure, what about it? And which she's like, yeah, how can... It's so weird that she acts like a grandma and cooks for everybody. Like, what's up with that? It's weird. So... And apparently the race that Neil is part of is known for being, like, highly inquisitive and intelligent and stuff, which also seems to weird Raine out.
Oh, so I'm guessing Raine sort of read up about Peniel's species, or just doesn't know about it overall, is just wondering all these questions.
He seems to have studied them a bit, yeah.
And just relegated to cooking.
Yeah, pretty much. And then here, Genus is like, well, if it's a supposedly public demonstration, why are they doing it in the middle of this mine where, like, nobody would frickin' venture in here? There's full of monsters and crap, right? And, yeah. And Raine's like, well, obviously something's up. This is why we were sent here. And not to mention, we kinda didn't get an invitation, so... We need... It's suspicious. And then they go on to this, again, very Symphonia and Fantasia conversation where, you know, protect the environment, stuff like that. Like, you can pretty much guess where it's going from here. They're talking about the plus and minus of mana being used as an energy source. For those who may not play Tales very often, think of FF7 and Mako energy. So,
there you go.
Yeah, and apparently this same group of people were also the people who experimented on Presea, but like I said, they don't really go too deep into it until I think later on.
So...
And then here I just kinda ran around to show how the flow of battle is.
Oh, this song! Yes! Oh! Yes, okay, hold up. Like, I was looking up songs for that panel I did a while back, and it's like, this song, so good. Is this in an early dungeon too? Like, holy jeez.
Yeah, it's an early song. You get it pretty often if you decide to use the Descender as your fighter.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, that song is so good. Holy Crusade, look it up. That's a very good battle theme.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry that I cut you off earlier. What were you gonna say?
So this mission sticks you with 2 mages, and you yourself are a mage. Huh. So we're really getting Fantasia up in here, both in plot and in battle setup.
Yes.
Granted, I know of some people who do like to play through Tales games as the mage, so, I don't know, like, it's never really clicked with me, but, hey, you know, some people like that sort of, setup, I guess.
I like being a mage in the games, because, I don't know if you've noticed, but in half the Tales games, the monster AI has the mentality of, kill player 1 no matter what. And in those types of games, I hate being the mage because I can never cast anything. But in games like this, where the AI seems to spread its attention, I like casting spells for this stuff. It's fun.
So you just prefer playing mage, and it's just this more so a platform that you could actually do that without being distracted by the enemies, pretty much.
Yeah, because in a lot of other games, like Zestiria, for instance, I noticed, the AI, like, monsters really don't seem to give a crap about your other party members. They know you're the biggest threat, and so they constantly come after you, so it's like, why even bother trying to cast, because I'm never going to get the opportunity.
Well, the AI is getting smarter, I guess.
Yeah. But, yeah, Kanono seems to be doing an okay job of just being a meat shield. This is why I recruited her, so that way she can get punched repeatedly.
See, I'm kind of curious to see how Kanono's role fits in this game, because in Vesperia, they gave her a pretty big role in that game, like in the second chapter of that app.
Yeah. There are a handful of missions in this game where you get bonus cutscenes if Kanono is in your party, so she's basically the secondary hero of the game. I don't know if I'll be getting all of those, though, so... Because I want to show off everybody in this game at some point.
And you also don't like Kanono, so...
So that's another thing, yes. And from what Kavasa has been translating of her for me, she's not making a very good first impression, this version of her. So... I mean, there you go.
That's the thing, though. Like, shoutouts to Namco for doing a good sort of gimmick between the 3 Radiant Mythology games. Well, granted, they did sort of have that idea with the Narikiri dungeon where it's like, 3 different versions of the main characters. But here they have like the 3 different versions of Kimono, so it's cool how they brought that over from the Narikiri dungeons. Pretty subtle shot.
Oh yeah. And if Tales of Wallbreaker was on the occasion, they do at least remember that the ND games exist, so that's nice. I mean, if they ever make a Radiant Mythology 4, which they should, I'd be a-okay with the Narikiri main duo showing up. That'd be pretty sweet.
All the more saltier when we had that April Fool's joke for Radiant Mythology 4 years back.
Oh yeah, dude, I was happy and then I noticed it was a Photoshop and I was like, oh. It hurt. Oh, sirens are going on. What's
Wait,
this?
why are there sirens going off in a cave? Hold on. How? Okay, sure, whatever.
It's going on outside the cave. Don't you see the clouds?
Oh, hold up.
Anyway, we get another stellar animated cutscene. Check it out.
Okay, so this one's actually animated for 10 seconds. So...
Yes, unlike the Abyss one, which is like 3 still images. So yeah, they just blew up a whole mountain range. Needless to say, this ain't a good thing.
Oh, if there's evil in this world, it lurks in the people who use mana.
So Raine is like, so the evil company that's evil is actually evil. Wow. But yeah, they're basically just discussing like, okay, this is bad, we need to go back and report. And by the way, fun little note that Kev wanted me to say before I forget. Apparently the battle cry of my Descender is, come all you want. Make of that what you will. But so yeah, here we're just reporting to Jade, and he's like, oh, okay.
Radiant Mythology has a lot of this. Like, there are missions where you just gotta go to a certain checkpoint and you're done. And it's a little bit jarring sometimes when you're expecting a boss fight, but at the same time, by design, you'd think they'd stick you with 2 mages for a boss fight? Probably not.
Right. And this'll happen in a later part, but, there are some missions, though, I'm so happy they don't have a boss, because in Radiant 2, we may have mentioned this already, but each time a Tales character joins you, they are way under-leveled, and they're usually required when they first join in that story mission. So you basically go into a dungeon, and then your party members will just die, like, instantly. And it sucks. And whenever there's a mission where you can just go to a checkpoint, you're like, okay, thank God, I can just put on a holy bottle and run through this place. I don't have to deal with, you know?
Yeah, this game tends to do that a lot with the guest characters. And you'd think it'd, like, level scale as well, but I guess it's like their way of saying, hey, you know, play the game more if you want to work hard to get your guest party members up.
Yeah, I think Radiant 3 scales everybody to your level, but I'm not sure.
I have a very faint feeling that it doesn't. I could be wrong. I barely play much of Radiant Mythology 3 either, but yeah, I just think that, you know, it was a bit of unfortunate aspect of the Radiant Mythology to have that whole, like, guest character not scaling up with your main character.
Right. And these little scenes are just more detailed introductions. You basically just the characters talking about themselves, but if you've played these games, you know, so... Is there anything you want to note about either this game or Symphonia or anything like that? We've got the downtime.
Symphonia didn't really age as well as I originally thought, but, you know, it's still decent.
Like Genus not being able to cast Fireball, like spell lag at the end of the game, you know, that was a fun time.
No, that's the only spell he ever uses, and that started the whole staple about Fireball.
Yeah, I flubbed, yeah.
Like, Fireball being the mainstay spell for every Tales character in the cutscene. It's like, you know, like, Violent Pain, but you're just gonna stick with Fireball? Why? Just why?
Because you can spam it!
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, and they solidified that fact by making that become a strategy to speedrun Exilia, so...
Yeah.
So, I mean,
man.
well, like Radiant Mythology 2 is sort of that weird middle child that's like, once 3 came out, you can't really go back to 2, but there's still some things about 2 that is still pretty good to go back to and whatnot.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth playing. I think all the Radiant games are worth it, really.
Yeah.
But with that, we are basically out of time, so we'll catch you next time, everybody.